Welcome to a pronunciation class with Cynthia. In today's class, we are going to learn how to pronounce the ed at the end of every verb. And we're going to see the three ways the ed you see at the end of every verb is being pronounced. Sometimes you try to pronounce a D, but you don't get it. So I'm not going to only tell you how to pronounce the ed at the end, I'll also tell you why we have the disparity, the same ed here, but you can't pronounce it the same way. And no matter how hard you try, you fail. So today I'm going to tell you why it is pronounced that way. Follow me and let's go to the board. First of all, I'm going to tell you that all the ed at the end of any verb is being pronounced or realized in three ways, and they are t, the, ed. Those are the sounds you hear at the end of your pronunciation with any word that has ed at the end. Okay, now the question is, why should I pronounce a word that has ed and I hear t? And why should I pronounce a word that has ed and I hear the? And in another case, you have ed. Now, come with me. All right, now you're going to understand that, first of all, consonants are divided into two: the voice consonant and the voiceless consonant. Therefore, this is what happens when the ed comes after a voice sound. It will also force it to become a voice sound. You didn't hear it. Let me take it again. When the ed at the end of the word comes after a voice sound, it will force the ed to become a voice sound, and that voice sound is the. And when there is a voiceless sound before the ed, it will also force the ed to become a voiceless sound, and that voiceless sound is t. While the last is ed. That occurs each time we have t or d at the end of the word before the ed. So automatically you're going to have ed. Do you get what I mean? Okay, I mean, if you have a word like transport, it ended with t, the ed will become transported. Demand, demanded, ed. Does that make sense? Okay, let's use some examples to justify exactly what I just said. We start with this. The word blessed is pronounced as blessed, not blessed. Why? You have the last sound, and no matter how hard you try to get the at the end, you will never get it. Forget those that are saying, blessed are you among women. It's not blessed, it's blessed are you among women. Do you get that? Now, in case you don't understand this, touch your vocal cords. Just put your hand this way. Say, S. Very silent. You see the serenity? S. Voiceless. There was no vibration of the vocal cords. When you pronounce a sound and you want to know if it's voiced, you feel the vibration of the vocal cords. When you put your hand this way, you're going to feel the vibration. And whenever it is a voice sound before the ed, that means it will make or influence the ed to become a d. And if it is a voiceless sound, it will also influence the ed to become a voiceless sound, which is t. The mathematics here is very simple. It's just like, show me your friend and I will tell you whom you are. This is just so simple to understand. It's just an environmental factor. You know, we're always told that 50% of the gene and 50% of the environment. Now, here, it is an environmental factor. It's just like saying, I am a noisy person. You can't come here to be quiet. As you come here, you become noisy like me. And if I am a quiet person, as you come here, you're going to be silent, quiet like me. That's exactly what happens here. So if you have a voiceless sound before the ed, you're going to have another voiceless sound, which is t for the ed. And if you have a voice sound, before the ed, Of course, automatically it says come here, and here we make noise, we don't keep quiet, and it becomes the. So let's go. Hashed. You have no vibration, and that's why you say hashed. No matter how you try to say the, you can never get it. Same here. And same here. That reminds me when I was very much younger, when my father was still alive, about 30 something years ago. He would always say, I know all your crooked ways. And King James Version would always use that crooked. It's not crooked, it's crooked ways. I hope you're learning something. Crooked ways, not crooked. Okay, the next is marked. Marked. The same thing that happened here is the same that happens here. Marked, cooked, jumped. Why? Because is a voiceless sound, and the sound before the ed are voiceless. Jumped. These are voiceless. Okay, we move to the next one. Let's see. Crippled. Crippled. We have the last sound that we hear. L is a voice consonant, and that's why you realize the ed has another voice, which is the. Crippled. And the next, penalized. Okay, and what do you hear? Penalized. Don't ask me why is it the, since here is an S. We work with sound. We don't work with letters. You might see S as a letter, but the sound is Z. You feel the vibration of the vocal cords, and that's why the ed becomes the. Bribed. B. Can you do that with me? Put your hands here and say B. What do you get? D. Because B is a voice sound. Doubled. Another L. Doubled. And the next is allowed. W. It's another voice sound, and is going to influence the very environment and tell the ed, come here, let's become noisy together. And the last, just like I said, whenever you have T or D before the ed, it is ed that you pronounce. You pronounce it as ed. It also occurs when you have a verb that ends with Y and you are to change to IED as a past tense or past participle, the V2 and the V3. You have words or you hear things like married, carried. Is that okay? All right. And whenever you have T and D, know it this way. Demanded, visited, aborted, avoided, admitted. Let me know what you feel at the comment section when it comes to these three words. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to pronounce it because if I do, you're going to know the answer. Drop your answers right under the comment section and I'm going to be there to vet it. Thank you once again for your renewed hope and trust. Don't forget to like, share, comment, tell your friends about this channel, and by so doing, the algorithm will be pleased to circulate my video. Have a beautiful day. I remain Madame Udozo Cynthia Ifuma, your favorite English language teacher. See you soon.